Tonight, the Wolverines of Utah Valley University begin defense of their regular season WAC title as they host the red-hot Redhawks from Seattle University. It's all coming up next right here on UVU TV. Welcome to Orem, Utah, to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University, where tonight the Wolverines of Utah Valley, 5-9 on the season, entertain the Redhawks from Seattle University, who have come in here 7-7. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim McCullough, along with Matt Peterson. Matt, first WAC game of the year for both of these squads. Sort of turns up the pressure a little bit, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You know, you can look at it like the beginning part of your second season, so to speak. You had a lot of time in the games before the conference starts to get ready for this time, because this is the most important part of your season, and the Wolverines have a great opportunity tonight, being at home to start their conference season. Hopefully they can get off on the right foot.
Yeah, let's hope. You know, if you look at the standings, nobody's played a WAC game yet. So these are all non-conference games. Grand Canyon, who is ineligible for postseason play on the WAC tournament or in the NCAA tournament. Currently, they're the only team with a real winning record. Everybody else sort of struggling so far. So big game for both Seattle and Utah Valley tonight. So let's talk about the players that you think might just be the ones to watch tonight.
You know, every player is important, but these two stick out for me. Zach Nelson, you know, sophomore, plays the forward position. He had the opportunity to go through last season and have all the success that the Wolverines did. He needs to really step up his game, and I think he's going to be the key player for the Wolverines in conference. Mitch Brunel has done some really good things. Senior, has that experience as well. He leads the Wolverines in scoring about 12.5 points a game. So I think if Zach can perform as Mitch has been performing, the Wolverines will be in good shape.
And the good news is both those guys are done with the flu. They both had the flu, and it hurt the Wolverines. All right, key players for Seattle, Matt. Boy, they can shoot it from outside.
Yeah, it's a two-headed monster for them. You have Jarrell Flores, senior guard. He's averaging 14 points a game. Isaiah Umapig, he's averaging 17, almost 18 points a game. So it is a guard-heavy lineup for Seattle. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the perimeter defenders for the Wolverines, because these guys are very active. They like to shoot, and they like to shoot from range too. So the Wolverines are going to have to come up with a plan to defend those two, try and shut them off first and foremost.
All right, so real quick, if the Wolverines are going to win this, what do they got to do?
Yeah, just as we said, defend the arc. They've got to defend those two players on the perimeter. They have to attack the boards. Long shots from those guys, long defensive rebounds, and they can couple that with some offensive rebounds as well. Ball movement. The Wolverines have to have a lot of ball movement on offense, get every player that's on the court involved, and then they themselves have to take care of the ball. They cannot turn the ball over. They cannot give early and easy opportunities to Seattle to turn turnovers into transition points. And I think if the Wolverines can focus on those four things, it will really help them tonight.
Should be fun. First matchup of the WAC season for both these squads, Seattle and UVU. Back more Costa Vida pregame show, opening lineups, and your opening tip coming your way next right here on UVU TV.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity,
on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
So there you see the Wolverines starting lineup. 1 senior, 2 juniors, a sophomore, and a freshman. Boston Gubler gets his 3rd straight start for the Wolverines, who averaging a very low 57.5 points a game. In fact, they're the lowest scoring team in the WAC, and they're giving up 65 points a game. Coached by Dick Hunsaker in his 13th season. You played for Coach Dick Hunsaker. Is it anything to worry about when you're only averaging 57.5 points a game, Matt?
Yeah, I think at times when the Wolverines have struggled during games and at various points, it's been their offense that has pulled them back. And I think it is concerning because you go get into conference where you're playing teams twice. You've got to play them at home and you've got to play them on the road. So they know you. They know you from last year. They know you from playing in the season, meaning that they're going to be well prepared for what you're trying to run. So I think it's very important that the Wolverines try and break through and break out on their offensive end. They need to play with a little more intensity on that side because it is concerning they're not scoring and not keeping up with their opponents.
UVU controls the opening tip. We're underway. WAC basketball finally here. Marcel Davis sets up the offense for the Wolverines on their first possession.
Yeah, defense from Seattle is the 1-2-2 initially. Looks like they may be doing some type of 2-3 as well. So starting out in the zone.
Zach to the rack, can't get it down. Gets his own rebound though. Bottom. Marcel Davis.
What was the key that we talked about? They've got to attack the boards. And if it's going to be a zone defense from Seattle, the Wolverines can give themselves extra opportunities by getting second chance shots from offensive boards.
That was Flora missing that one, and Gubler pulls down the rebound. Boston Gubler, not exactly a true freshman. He did right out of high school serve an LDS mission down in Chile. Got back in August. So he's a freshman, but hasn't seen high school action for about 3 seasons. Gubler, a little jump hook. Can't get that down. Follow won't go. And a first foul of this game inside, going to go against Seattle.
Yeah, this is a great sign. The activity that the Wolverines have had, they've got great looks inside. They haven't settled for outside jumpers. They've been patient, pounded that ball inside. And because the zone from Seattle, the Wolverines pounding the offensive boards, getting extra chances.
3-0 early, Utah Valley. That 3 is blocked. Seattle basketball. And now it's UVU basketball.
Yeah, really nice help there from Mitch Brunel. As Jarrell Flora was driving, Mitch came off of his man. He was guarding on the perimeter. A nice job of reaching his hand in, at least affecting the drive somewhat from Flora.
Dante Williams. UVU 5-0.
Yeah, and again, if Seattle is going to expand their zone, and they did that with kind of a token zone, almost man-to-man full court pressure, the Wolverines attacked it. Nice finish from Dante.
Jumper outside, 5-2.
Yeah, this defense from Seattle, it's a 1-2-2, so I really like how the Wolverines have ran their offense so far. Those are the types of plays right there, drives to the middle of the paint. That'll give you chances.
Pretty physical inside. Crook coming away with the rebound. He's a big kid. Jack Crook, 6'11", from Manchester, England. Seattle, just like UVU, did not provide weights for their players. You know he's 6'11", don't know how much Crook weighs. Coe almost lost the handle. And Williams almost with the steal. Shot blocked. Flora had it blocked by Zach Nelson. Still 5-2, Utah Valley out in front. Just under 17 minutes to play here, first half. Nice whip pass from Boston Goober, and Nelson missed the shot, got his own rebound. UVU now with 6 rebounds already. That one just thrown away on the run. Flora. He lost the handle. Wolverines coming back the other way. Marcel Davis over to Williams. He launches the 3. Williams claiming he was hit on the hand after he let it go. No call there. Seattle basketball.
Seattle slowing the ball down a little bit. I think they've been a little too frantic on offense, turned the ball over, given the Wolverines chances in transition. So they're going to get set here and run a little bit more of a design play.
Seattle's only gotten 3 shots away here with we're 4 minutes deep into the game. UVU 2 of 9. That one won't go for Seattle. It belongs to the Red Hawks. And that's going to bring us to our first media timeout. Just under 16 minutes to play. 5-2, Utah Valley on top early. Six rebounds, Matt, already for UVU, and of the 6, 4 of them are offensive.
Yeah, I mean, the Wolverines have more than doubled up the shot attempts from Seattle. 2 of 9 for UVU. They've gotten great looks. They just haven't fallen. I like the urgency. I like the energy that they've come out with here. I think it's been a great start, and I think you can always tell the energy that a team has by how aggressive they are going to the basket. And you know, of those 9 shots, 6 have been, you know, inside the 3-point arc, and numerous shots have been point blank. So that was one of the keys. If they can attack the board, especially if Seattle will play that zone, you know, keeping those rebounds up offensively will be a good thing.
Zach Nelson steals the inbounds pass, and then he's fouled. Jack Crook picks up the foul for Seattle.
Yeah, and it's little plays like those, again, that can really set the tempo, because it's a simple inbound play, and all Seattle's really trying to do is get the ball in to Jack Crook, their center, well beyond the 3-point line. So that ball floated up there. Good awareness from Zach.
First foul on Crook, second team foul against Seattle. Brendan Evans in the game now at center. Saved that one from going out of bounds and flipped it in off a Seattle player.
Yeah, these keys to the game, the ball movement, I think it's been great so far. I really do. I think the Wolverines have done a terrific job. They just need to settle into it a little bit. They seem, their energy is good, maybe just a little too anxious, but that will come throughout the game.
Zach Nelson, shooter's bounce.
Yeah, against the zone, if you can get skip passes, if you can get diagonal passes and have someone always be active at the free throw line, you're going to be setting yourself up as you get a nice drive there from Isaiah Umapig. Yeah, that's going to be really tough and something to watch throughout this game. We mentioned how Isaiah Umapig takes so many threes. They're going to be chasing him around the perimeter. Plays like that, he's going to have whoever's guarding him, going to have help defense, because the pressure around the three is going to be so much.
Brendan Evans had the ball go through his hands. Seattle with the UVU turnover. Twisting inside, Zach Nelson blocks another shot, this one from behind. Williams on the run, in traffic all the way. Can't get it down, a blocking foul against Seattle. Dante Williams has got some speed. 6'4" junior from Philadelphia, PA, averaging 8.5 points a game. He had 14 a week ago today against Arkansas at their place. And they were a hard-fought for 14 points against the Razorbacks, let me tell you.
Yeah, he played really well, and plays like that are good because you get the block from Zach, you get Dante taking the ball, and his mind was set. He had an advantage, and he was going to be aggressive. You know, he's a terrific free throw shooter, so I think that's always in the back of his mind. He can push the action, and he can be aggressive. If he gets fouled, great. He goes to the line. He's a really good free throw shooter.
He's got 3 points. Marcel Davis with 3. Zach Nelson's got the other 2. Yeah, Dante Williams, second best free throw shooter in the WAC. Boston Gubler back in. Chad Ross makes his first appearance.
And Marcel Davis is the one starting out on Isaiah Umapig. He's done a good job so far. You know, watch him have to fight through all these screens. He's going to be chasing Isaiah the entire night.
The whistle goes against UVU this time. This one will be against Chad Ross, who just checked into the game. First foul against Utah Valley. Comes with 14:19 left. First half.
Well defended there from UVU. That was a play designed for Zach Crook to get that ball and hand it right off to Isaiah Umapig in the corner. Nice job of defense there from Dante.
Wow, wide open lane for Jack Crook to take it in and slam it down.
That's what's hard about defending against a team that spreads you out and shoots a lot of threes. You know, you get a lot of pick set, the paint is going to be open, and that was a simple roll down and an emphatic finish.
Reach-in foul against Flora of Seattle. It'll be his first, team's fourth. So all 5 starters for Seattle still out there, and 4 of them have picked up at least, all 4 of them have picked up a foul. Inbounds play, shot not there. Marcel has his blocked. Brunel, contact inside, charge.
Pretty good job of recovery there from William Powell. Mitch got the ball on the baseline, tried to square up his shoulders, and I think that's a really good call. William Powell set his feet. Mitch did what he could to get around, but charge taken, foul on Mitch.
UVU just 2 of their last 9 shots from the floor, overall 3 of 11. Meanwhile, Seattle 3 of 7. Seattle yet to take a 3-pointer, and we talked in the pregame about how many threes they love to take and make.
Well, and you get a change here. Alex Carr coming now in, giving a break to Marcel. There's the first 3.
On cue, Coe misses from outside. Utah Valley basketball.
You know, and one of the keys, Jim, attack the boards. We've said how the Wolverines have done it offensively. Defensively, you know, coach will harp into their minds this full week of preparation. Long threes, long rebounds. You have to be able to rebound anywhere on the court. Everybody has to be aware of it.
Chad Ross for 3, bottom.
Nice job, Chad. One dribble, getting his rhythm. I've been so impressed with Chad this year, how he's expanded his game and has expanded his range. He's shown that distance, knocking down some threes.
Foul away from the basketball against Seattle. I think they're calling that one on Powell, and why not? He was the only starter who did not have a foul yet. So all 5 Seattle starters now do have 1 foul each.
Moving screens, those are really hard to defend against. Obviously, they're illegal, but fact is that the screens that that Seattle will be setting for their 3-point shooters to spring them along the outside line. It'll be really important for the Wolverines to get around those screens. We're going to see a lot of action out around the 3.
Contact inside. Mitch Brunel with the turnaround. Nice. He's his first 2. Wolverines by 7. It's their biggest lead. Three won't go, outside for Flora. Utah Valley with the rebound. Trying to work it into Gubler. They do. Turnaround baseline jumper won't go. Got his own rebound. Not bad. And then travel with it. Wow, that brings us to 36% shooting for Utah Valley, 33 for Seattle, but Utah Valley has been able to get away 14 shots. Seattle just 9, or 3 of 9.
Yeah, the Wolverines have forced Seattle into 4 turnovers, and they've been able to convert those 4 turnovers into 6 points. You know, the game is early, but I think the trend for the Wolverines has been really set, and I bet the game plan, don't know exactly what it was from Coach Hunsaker, but I imagine he has to be pretty pleased where you have the 2 leading scorers for Seattle haven't even, Isaiah Umapig scored 2 points, but Jarrell Flora hasn't even scored a point yet. So a good team effort from UVU so far defending those 2 players.
Yeah, and did you point out they between them averaged almost 32 points a game, those 2?
Yeah, and it's incredible because 70% of Umapig's shots are threes, and 51% of Flora's shots are threes. So it is a very perimeter-oriented game for them, and I think what UVU's trying to do is to chase them when they come off of screens, not let them get any open looks, and force them to beat them by driving to the basket. What you'll probably see too, and I've seen it a couple of possessions, is a ton of switching from multiple players on the perimeter. This is a defense we've seen before. This is the 1-3 kind of a box and one where you have Alex Carr chasing around Isaiah Umapig.
Under 5 to shoot. Reverse layup goes for Powell.
Yeah, and that's what Seattle wants. If they're going to play that defense, you get someone else to beat you, a very athletic finish, and I think that's what Coach Hunsaker wants. Make it difficult. Don't let their best players beat them. If they can beat them with an underneath reverse layup like that, so be it.
Chad Ross. Umapig pulls down the rebound off the glass.
Yeah, here comes the defense again, Jim. You see Alex Carr with the responsibility. He has one concern, and that's chasing around Isaiah Umapig wherever he goes. And you have help from other players, but they don't want Isaiah to beat him.
Meanwhile, Theo Turner is in the game for Seattle. He's a big kid too, 6'11", redshirt freshman from England. 5 seconds again to shoot. Coe, long 2.
Yeah, and you got to live with that. I mean, that was terrific defense for 32 seconds there. And Coe knocked down the shot.
5 straight points for Seattle. Gubler fouled on his way to the hole.
I've been so impressed with Gubler inside, and we're going to get some mass substitutions here, but I think Boston has been very active inside, and when he gets that ball, he's turning and looking to the basket and taking what's given to him from there. Several times he's squared up and been aggressive, trying to draw contact, trying to get an easy basket.
That was the second foul on Isaiah Umapig, by the way. He's still out there now with 2 fouls for Seattle. Could hurt Seattle badly if he gets in foul trouble. Zach Nelson misses the 3.
Yeah, wonderful ball movement. Everybody touched it. It didn't stick in one position, and they got the result they wanted. Wide open 3. Terrific possession.
All right, they now change it. Umapig wears number 0-1, and Turner wears 1-0. The official scorer originally gave it to Umapig at 0-1, but now they've changed it to give it to Turner. So Umapig just 1 foul. That's why he's still out there.
Absolutely.
6 team fouls already against Seattle. Inside, nice play, Powell.
Yeah, see so much attention. I don't know if it was Zach on the block that had Umapig coming off of a screen on his side. He kind of inched his way out a little bit further, and left a little bit of an opening on the lane.
12:22 was the last time the Wolverines scored on the clock. Over 3.5 minutes ago. Mitch Brunel, bottom.
Penetration kills the zone. It just absolutely breaks down the zone, and Mitch with a wide open shot. The Wolverines switching back their defense, no longer going with the 1-3 chaser. They're now in a man-to-man, full on.
You hear Coach Cameron Dollar just to our right, about 10 feet, yelling at his players to move, move, move. Zach Nelson saves that one from going out of bounds. Jaden Jackson with it for UVU. Jackson for three. Well, we talked about Seattle being #1 in the conference in three-pointers. They make 40% of them, 8.2 of them per game, but right now it's UVU 3 of 7 from three-point land, and Seattle 0 for 2. A 30-second timeout called, so we'll stay here with this one.
Yeah, and you can't blame the Wolverines. They're getting great looks. They just haven't fallen, and I think that's been, you know, you asked me early on, you know, what I thought if I was concerned, and I've seen all the games. I think that the Wolverines do a good job of running their offense. It's just, you know, those shots that they need to make, they haven't been able to do it, and that's the way that you can really break down a defense, is by making wide open shots. That will deflate them and give the momentum to your side. But again, offensively, they get that ball in the paint. You know, we've seen it at the high post area or in the middle of the paint to Boston Gubler, to Zach Nelson, Brendan Evans. They do a good job of getting that ball inside, sucking the defense in, and it's given them the opportunity for all those kickouts, and I think that's why they've gotten so many good three looks.
Four-point lead for the Wolverines. They've led all the way. They jumped out 5-0. Seattle had cut it to 13-12 after 7 straight points before Brunel's 3.
Watch how many screens these big guys from Seattle set, and how often their guards are coming off of double screens or even triple screens inside. And that's again that's a moving screen. We've mentioned how that can be have an effect on the game. Theo Turner got called for a moving screen there.
And it is Turner, not Umapig this time. Media timeout, 7:25 left first half. Utah Valley leading by 4 here in Orem. UVU, defending WAC regular season champs. Last year they finished the WAC with a 13-3 record, but they were really stout at home, going 13-2. It was the road woes that hurt throughout the season, where they were 7-10. So home sweet home for the Wolverines.
Yeah. And you know, it's true of any sport wherever you're playing. When you're at home, you've got to win those games, especially in conference, because you know that you got to turn around and go on the road, play the same team. So, you know, if you can win your home games and then go on the road and steal one, that's the recipe for success.
Despite the fact UVU leads in the scoring, shooting percentage, Seattle at 46, UVU at 31. It's because UVU's taken 6 more shots and missed 6 more shots. Than has Seattle.
Yeah, and Seattle hasn't attempted a free throw. That's a great thing. The Wolverines have only attempted 2, so it's been a pretty clean game so far as neither team getting to the line.
Utah Valley only took 1 free throw in the entire second half last Saturday in Fayetteville against the Razorbacks, and that was not a clean game. Brendan Evans for 3. Zach Nelson offensive rebound. Man, they've got a mess of them. It's a Southern expression, a mess of them. Another foul against Seattle, 35 is Flora. Jarrell Flora picks up his 2nd, team's 8th.
Yeah, that's 8 offensive rebounds for UVU. And they've only got 6 defensive rebounds, so they've done a good job of attacking and giving themselves more chances. And you know, against the zone, I think UVU they've broken it down. They've done a good job attacking it, and I like 7 minutes left in the game. If I'm a guard for UVU, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be aggressive, because You know, any foul from here on out for the rest of the half, you're at the line.
Dante Williams makes them both. He's 3 of 4 from the stripes. Got 5 points tonight. Wolverines push it out to 6-point lead. They've led by as many as 7.
And again, you know, it's very interesting to watch the offense that Seattle is running, because you do not see them try and dump the ball into a post player. We've not seen that much of that action where they dump it into someone who's posting. They are constantly having their big guys set screens, and their guards are running off of those screens, which makes it all the more difficult for the wing players to defend.
A lot of slapping inside. Somebody's going to get called for the slapping foul. Marcel Davis for Utah Valley picks up his first, team's 3rd.
Yeah, and this is what you get. You know, you get players who will drive like Isaiah did and try and dump it off like that. That's how Seattle has scored so far. 8 of their points have come in the paint.
4 players diving all over the place for that one. Seattle comes away with it. Jumper way outside for 3. Umapig misses that one.
Coach Dollar is screaming that he was bodied up.
Dante Williams misses that. Brunel rebound, goes back strong. 7 straight points for UVU.
Yeah, I think you can't say enough about Mitch and his skill on offense. I mean, that's an incredibly difficult move to make. Sky up for the rebound, take 1 dribble, and power on up. You're right at the rim. Great play for Mitch.
Seattle's last point came at the 9:07 mark. About 5:40 left here in the first half, and just losing the handle out of bounds was Jack Crook.
Yeah, see, that's the type of play. Jack Crook had that ball one-on-one against Brendan Evans on the post, but he was not interested in posting up. A lot of times you'll see players with his size, you know, with a defender on their back, you get the ball in the post, you're looking to back him down or make a move. He had no interest in doing that, and nice job of poking the ball away and off of Jack there from Brendan.
Zach Nelson, Marcel Davis, Mitch Brunel, Brendan Evans, and Dante Williams on the floor right now for Utah Valley. Meanwhile, Seattle, Umapig, Adenican, Powell, Claire, and Flora. Brunel for 3. Bottom.
No dribbling. I love that. There was no dribbling there. You had active ball movement. No one had the ball for more than 2 seconds, and you work it around till you get the pass, you get the shot that you want.
10 straight points from Utah Valley. After Seattle had cut it to 13-12, now it's 23-12. And UVU looking for more. Dante Williams, 1-on-4. He'll take it to the hole and 1. How many times this season have we seen this kid from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania just turn on the Jets? 1-on-4, Matt.
Yeah, you know what that tells me, Jim? He's playing with more confidence than ever, because it is not often you see a player go 1-on-4 the other team in transition. But that just tells me he's playing with a ton of confidence, and rightfully so. He's put together a couple really nice games. He's got off to a great start here. And when you know you can score, be aggressive. It goes back to what we said there. You know, if he gets fouled, he's going to the line. Either way. So, you know, what a great finish from Dante. I love seeing that.
It tells me that he learned to play basketball in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. That's a tough move.
3.
Strong finish.
3 is missed. Seattle controls, though. They'll try another one. Claire missed that one. Oh, they're going to call a foul on that one. I'm completely screened out. I think that one's going against Utah Valley.
They called it on Dante. I think the official grabbing his own wrist, pulling it down, making it seem like there was a hold and pulling the defender's arm down on the rebound. Didn't see that there, but the official made the call.
Gubler back into the game. UVU starting 5 on the floor right now. 26-12, 14-point lead, UVU's biggest. Floater inside. Both teams had a chance at it. Here he goes again. Dante misses. And Seattle basketball. Dante Williams now 2 of 6 from the floor. Excuse me, yeah, 2 of 6. 8 points overall. 4 of those points coming from the free throw line. It's Brunel doing the damage though, 10 points. He's the only player for either team in double figures.
Yeah, very quick and quiet. 10 points for Mitch. It's a good drive from Dante. We expected it. We talked about how he's been playing. You know, a nice job of crashing from there. Marcel had a great look on the putback. Boston had a chance at another offensive board. You know, good job of those players running the floor and not staying back, assuming that Dante was going to finish the layup.
5 minutes for Seattle without scoring a point. Going to be a little bit longer too. 0 for their last 7 from the floor. Brunel strong to the hole, not there. Utah Valley basketball. Brings us to our final media timeout here of the first half. 3:37 left. It's been kind of a game of streaks here in the first half. At one point, Utah Valley was just 1 of 8 shooting, and that allowed Seattle to climb back into it, cutting UVU's lead down to 1 at 13-12. But then all of a sudden, 13 straight points from UVU as Seattle's gone ice cold. They're 0 for 7.
Yeah, and that can be attributed to UVU and how well they've been playing defense. I mean, it's been something to really tip your hat at from everybody involved, because you know you hold Seattle 0 of 7 from the 3. You know, on the year, they're a 40% three-point shooting team. So you know the Wolverines have done a really nice job there. You know, they themselves, UVU, 11 points off of 7 Seattle turnovers and 10 second chance points. Wolverines pounding the offensive glass, 11 offensive rebounds, and again, Isaiah Umapik 2 points, Jarrell Flora 0 points.
And Seattle 0 for 7 from beyond the arc is the most amazing stat of them all to me.
Yeah, and they still have not shot a free throw. No free throw attempts.
Alex Carr into the basketball game right now for Utah Valley.
And you see a change defensively from Seattle. They're no longer playing a zone. They're in a man-to-man defense now.
Brunel, bottom from 3 again. He did not get to play against Arkansas. When we arrived in Fayetteville, he had the flu. Tried to dress out for the game, could not even warm up, got on the team bus, went back to the hotel and slept through the whole game and slept all the way home on the plane the next day. Meanwhile, I'm sure a couple of passengers on Southwest got the flu today, but Brunel feeling much better, as are the Wolverines. That 3 won't go from Carr. He had a couple of beautiful threes against Arkansas late in that game. Crook gets it to go and 1.
Much needed basket there from Seattle. They were dying for some points.
All right, so they scored at the 2:25 mark. Their last basket came at the 9:07 mark. Goodness, that was a long drought for Seattle. Crook now 6 points. He leads the scoring attack for Seattle. Powell with 4, Umapik 2, Coe with 2. Missed the free throw. Utah Valley basketball.
Let's see what Seattle does defensively here. I think they're going back to the, they're playing that 3-2 or 1-2-2 type zone again. So look for the Wolverines to be active, getting that ball inside at the paint and opening up their options from there.
2 minutes left in this first half. UVU has led the whole way. Brendan Evans stripped of it on his way up. Wolverine ball.
Yep. They get the ball inside again, right in the paint. Zach do a nice job. I think what's aided the Wolverines is they've got some easy shots, some knockdown shots from the corners too. It hasn't just been around the perimeter. forces the defense to go out to the corners, which can open up other lanes.
Brunel. Oh my goodness. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I don't think they didn't rule that a 3. I think they signaled that they're going to review that one. Didn't get a good look from our angle here, but Mitch is on fire.
Right now credited with 2. 15 points for Mitch all in this first half. Zach Nelson with yet another rebound. 23 rebounds for UVU. Brendan Evans, 6'5".
I love the two-man game there because Brendan did a terrific job of running out, getting, making himself available for a potential outlet pass as you get a steal from, near steal here from Zach.
Crook looked like he didn't know what he wanted to do with it for sure. Marcel Davis with the rebound. Look out, Brunel's got it again. Oh my goodness, Superman missed. He'll shoot a couple free throws though. Mitch Brunel, 6 of 7 tonight, including 3 out of 3 from beyond the arc. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist.
There's probably not a stat for it, but we said long threes, long rebounds, and the Wolverines, when they've gotten those long rebounds, they're looking to outlet that ball. Mitch got that ball near the half-court line, doing a terrific job of converting missed shots. Number one, they forced the missed shot, but then they turned the missed shot into a potential transition basket.
The senior from Boise, Idaho. It's a 22-2 run for Utah Valley. 35-14.
And Mitch is showing some serious leadership right now because there's a lot of things that you can do vocally, but when you get a player of Mitch's caliber and being a senior, he knows that he has to lead, and he's leading with his play. Amazing first half.
Utah Valley basketball, just under 47 seconds left in this first half. If you're wondering, Mitch Brunel's career high is 27 points. He had that earlier this season against Southern Utah. Again, Mitch didn't play last Saturday in Arkansas at all, just slept through the game. If he's going to do this, you might give him every other game off.
I know, that seems to be a good strategy, but he's been the catalyst for UVU tonight. 6 of 7, 3 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2, nearly a perfect half for Mitch. And what's probably most important is he got 6 rebounds, so he has been incredibly active everywhere on the court tonight.
Dick Hunsaker takes a quick little timeout to talk about the final 32.5 seconds. Meanwhile, 21 seconds on the shot clock. So they can't play for a last-second shot, but they can burn a lot of time off this. And you'd like to go into the locker room leading. I mean, right now it's a 22-2 run.
Yeah.
I mean, getting greedy at this point, huh?
You'll take that. I mean, it's been an amazing run here for the Wolverines, and they're doing it in so many different ways. Their defense is keying them. This is the life that we need to see and hope to see from the Wolverines every game on offense. It really seems to me that they've ratcheted up a notch here, and see Zach anticipating that pass and showing hustle. That's what you have to have. Good effort from him. On the previous play right before that, I was making a mention of the two-man game between Dante Williams and Brendan Evans inside. Those are the types of plays that you have to have. If you don't get an initial look, keep playing. Brendan did a nice job posting up. Dante found him and finished. It's just those little plays, those little things that the Wolverines have done that have been so inspiring for the team.
So we'll see what the strategy is here in the final seconds of the first half. Tried to get it to Brunel inside. 8 seconds on the shot clock for the Wolverines to work with. 19.1 on the game clock.
Yeah, well run, well designed play there. Jack Crook just stuck his left hand out at the last second.
And this is not good. Brunel tracks it down in the backcourt. 5 seconds to shoot. He may have to launch it from half court. Dante Williams can't get it to go. Wolverines can burn out the last 8 seconds now. Brunel, can he finish off the half? Bottom. The best first half of a Utah Valley player in years here at the UCCU Center. senior Mitch Brunel, 6'5", from Boise, Idaho. Started 9 games at Utah State, didn't like the direction of the program, transferred here, and he's lighting it up. Wolverines leading at halftime, 38-14. You see Mitch Brunel finishing off the first half in style. 20 points in the first half for the senior. 4 of 4 from three-point land. What a first half by senior Mitch Brunel. Wolverines lead it at halftime, 38-14. We're at Utah Valley University. They've got 7 colleges here at the university, one of which is the College of Technology and Computing. Tonight is TNC night. That's what they call themselves, TNC. 9 of the most dynamic programs on this campus are housed in TNC. Take a look.
What are you gonna be?
Welcome to Utah Valley University. My name is Michael Savoy, and I'm the Dean of the College of Technology and Computing, or as we affectionately know it, TNC. I want to welcome you to one of the most beautiful places on earth. As you can see behind me, we have mountains in the backdrop, we have a lake on the other side, snowboarding, skiing, hiking and biking, anything you need. And oh, by the way, you can get a really good education here as well. But let me give you a quick introduction to TNC and show you how you get a real degree that will help you land a terrific job. We offer some of the most dynamic and vigorous programs in the country. With over 4,000 students and an award-winning faculty of dedicated professionals, we have become the place for not only students to come to get an education, but also the place for employers to come and find some of the best trained, most qualified employees in the nation. Our programs here at TNC include one of the top automotive technology programs in the nation. Here students learn everything from engine repair to diesel mechanics to paint shop processes, all the way to how to take an old clunker and turn it into a hot rod. And if you're really good, you can be on the Wolverine racing team, which holds 5 world land speed records out at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Talk about graduating with a great resume. Or how about our computer science program? With state-of-the-art computer labs, our students learn the latest and greatest on a variety of devices and platforms. Whether you're interested in computer engineering, software development, or designing the next hot video game, we'll teach you everything you need to know. Our computer science graduates are being hired by some pretty big name companies. One of our students recently won the title of top computer programmer in the nation. Or if you want a real hands-on program, check out our construction technology department. If you want to supervise construction sites or manage commercial projects, or be a dependable home builder, then this is the place for you. Our students are truly involved in the community, annually building a Habitat for Humanity home. Our construction competition teams have brought home first place trophies for several straight years. We are also home to the Culinary Arts Institute, which is turning out some of the greatest chefs in the country. The last 3 years have seen our students win top regional and national awards. For many of our culinary students, this is where they learn everything they need to open their own restaurants or catering companies. And don't forget about our digital media program. This truly is one of the most popular programs on campus. And no wonder, as they turn out award-winning movies, video games, and other products. Many of our digital media students are offered jobs before they even graduate. Then there's our engineering, graphics, and design technology department, training the newest generation of engineers, architects, and surveyors. If you're interested in drafting, surveying, geomatics, 3D modeling, CAD, or architectural drawing, we have great 3D printer technology as well, in case you're into that. Or if you're interested in robotics or mechatronics or going into engineering, then you should check out our engineering technology department. We've got some of the most advanced lab equipment in the entire state of Utah. This is truly a resume building environment. And our information systems and technology department always seems to have more job offers than we can fill. Jobs like software developers, programmers, digital forensics investigators, you know, all the cool jobs. If you're one of those folks who knows they'd make a good business leader, then our technology management department is for you. You get to pick your favorite technology field, and then we will train you how to be a top-notch manager in that specialty. So if you're looking for a great education, a great job, and a great place to live, work, and have fun, come join us at Utah Valley University and in the College of Technology and Computing.
TNC, what are you gonna be?
All right, so you just saw the video about the College of TNC, all the exciting things they've got going. Hey, guess what? We're joined live now by the man you just saw on tape. This is Michael Savoy, Dean of the College of Technology and Computing. Dean, we saw the large overview, but TNC's got a lot of cool things going on right now.
We do. We have some amazing things happening. Probably the most exciting thing is what's happening with our students. And we just had a team compete in the Adobe Analytics contest, 60 teams nationwide, only one undergraduate team, that was the one from UVU, finished second in the competition.
This is a nationwide competition.
Nationwide competition.
Wow.
We beat Stanford, MIT, lost to Northwestern, to a graduate team from
darn.
there. But, you know, outstanding stuff, outstanding. Peter Spruill, one of our outstanding chefs and department chair in culinary arts, just took a silver medal at the International Chefs Competition in Luxembourg.
Nice.
So, you know, wonderful faculty here just doing outstanding things. And probably one of the more exciting things we have right now is that we have a brand new cybersecurity degree. Post-baccalaureate, we encourage anyone who has a bachelor's degree, come in, talk to us if you're interested in cybersecurity and what's happening. Utah Valley is going to be one of the key areas in the country for cybersecurity, and UVU is leading that entire effort.
Very cool, very cool. And then, of course, I understand there's all sorts of employers lining up to hire graduates.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the hardest thing we have right now is keeping students in school. They get to be juniors, juniors, seniors, and they're so well qualified that industry is stepping up to the door and hiring everybody that we put out. I mean, a good example is our computer science program, 100% employment before they graduate. Wow. Just amazing.
That is amazing. I'm here with Michael Savoy. He's the Dean of the College of Technology at Utah Valley University. Let's talk a little bit about the digital media program, because I understand there's going to be some really cool things going on from the digital media folks at UVU up at the Sundance Film Festival.
Yeah, we're really excited. Last year was our first real effort up at Sundance. We did a couple of seminars, went over incredibly well. This year we're incredibly excited because a gentleman named Martin Danielle has joined the faculty at UVU. Martin is world-renowned. His dad was Frank Danielle, one of the founders of the Sundance Institute. Martin's now on faculty here at UVU.
Wow.
He'll be doing a series of seminars at Sundance. We're going to complement that with a series of additional seminars. Just got contacted today by the largest law firm for entertainment law in the country out of New York, and they called us asking if they could do a seminar at UVU.
Nice.
So we're adding that seminar as well. So we'll be doing 4 to 5 days of seminars. We'll be doing workshops at the new virtual stage. We've got a $1.2 million virtual stage that we partnered with Park City Film Studios on. So we'll be doing workshops there. We're going to be flying UAVs with cameras on them.
Unmanned aerial vehicles.
Unmanned aerial vehicles.
Sorry, I'm not up on all your lingo.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
that's all right.
We'll be doing the unmanned aerial vehicles.
Thank you.
With the cameras on them. That's the latest thing in terms of video and film. So we'll be doing that as well.
So people at Sundance can catch a free shuttle, is that what I'm told?
Yeah, there'll be
up to your place?
Yeah, there'll be a shuttle running from Main Street. It'll go by the Park City Film Studio, and then it'll head over to UVU. And we'll have an open house on the 26th and 27th, but we'll have workshops running from the 21st to the 28th.
Oh, it's great. Great opportunity for the folks at Sundance to check out Utah Valley.
We are incredibly thrilled to have this opportunity.
Dean Michael Savoy, Utah Valley University, College of Technology and Computing. Thanks for being here, young man. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you, Jim. Thank you very much.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity,
on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
Back at the UCCU Center, Jim McCall along with Matt Peterson. Second half just about 3 minutes away here, but what a first half that was.
Yeah.
Mitch Brunel, 20 points in that first half, Matt, and I don't know if you had a chance to talk to anybody while I was doing the interview, but I think that's the best first half a UVU players had since maybe Ryan Toulson went off for 60 in a game, what, about 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen, many people do what Mitch did. I mean, and it's been a total overall team effort across the board, but Mitch has been the leader. 20 points, 7 of 8 from the field, 4 of 4 from the 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and he's got 6 rebounds. And we don't show his defensive statistics as well. So, I think he has shown leadership that the Wolverines were desperately needing, and what a great time for Mitch to do it.
Mitch, one of 4 seniors on this Wolverine team, and we talked about it throughout that first half. He had the flu, and his roommate on the road is Zach Nelson. Zach had the flu a couple of games before the Arkansas game. Then Mitch came down with it. I asked before the game started when the players were warming up before we went on the air. I said, okay, who's sick tonight?
Yeah.
And they said nobody. We quarantined Mitch and just pumped vitamin C into him big time. But whatever they gave him, they might want to spread that around. 20 points, next closest on the Wolverine team in the first half. Dante Williams with 8 points, and I thought Dante played a pretty good first half.
He played a heck of a first half as well, and probably more. His defensive effort really impressed me because, he, Marcel Davis, Alex Carr, those guys have had a tremendous responsibility put on them for this game in guarding Umapig and Flora. And, look at those guys, Jim. Isaiah Umapig, 2 points, 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. Flora hasn't even scored. So offensively, those guys have done some good things, but defensively has been fantastic, and across the board, the Wolverines have dominated statistically.
I'll say Wolverines put up 33 shots. Seattle put up 23. Wolverines made 13 of theirs. Seattle made 7 of theirs. 3-point shooting, though. Seattle 0 for 8. Utah Valley 6 of 14. I mean, really, Mitch Brunel 20. Seattle University 14 at halftime. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. He was a firecracker that first half.
Just about set to start our second half here in Orem, Utah. Utah Valley 5-9 overall this season. Seattle 7-7. Seattle won 2 out of 3 coming in here. Utah Valley has won 2 out of their last 4 coming in here, but UVU coming off their biggest loss of the season last Saturday against Fayetteville. Neither one of these teams, Matt, has played in a week. They both had the whole week off.
And I think that means a lot, Jim. It honestly does, because you have a full week of preparation where you're focusing on one opponent and put all your efforts to it. And, it's a good thing because it's an important game.
Wow, strong to the hole, Jack Crook. And Zach Nelson tried to stop it, could not. Crook scores, and Nelson called for the foul.
Yeah, just as I said, it's an important game. What an important start for Seattle in the second half here from Jack Crook. We saw a very similar play where he had a dunk finish in the first half. I think so much attention was paid to players coming off of him as he got that ball somewhere around the free throw line. He just turned and attacked the rim. So, that hopefully doesn't slow the UVU momentum down, but that was a good start for Seattle.
I'm thinking Cameron Dollar had some things to say in that locker room at halftime. Boston Gubler lost the handle. Went off Seattle's Crook, though.
Well, and one thing I always talk about, Jim, when we see the Wolverines hold players down scoring-wise, who are usually big-time scorers like Umapig and Flora in a first half, you have to go back and play that same intensity in the second half because they can score, and they're gonna come back even more aggressive.
Mitch Brunel, the man is on fire.
Can't do much with that. I mean, that was an incredible shot from Mitch. Terrific defense. Mitch just rose up, nailed it from the baseline.
I don't know who got him, but Powell's going to be at the free throw line. Mitch Brunel got him. Brunel's second foul.
I mentioned a little bit earlier, see a replay here, there was Crook handing the ball off, and nice hesitation move there from Flora. Mitch comes back in here. I think they called the foul on him, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned a little bit earlier, we talked about on the transition play where Dante went 1-on-4, and we talked about confidence. It can do so much for you. Tell me. I don't think I've ever seen Mitch play with this much confidence.
No.
I mean, he is on another level.
You saw Chad Ross check into the game for UVU. Both free throws from Powell are good.
And we saw this pressure a couple of possessions in the first half, designed to slow down the Wolverines, get them out of their rhythm, and they'll fall back. Seattle will into the 1-2-2. Well handled there from UVU. Took their time, didn't rush anything, didn't force anything.
Well, it was an alley-oop intended for Brunel, but Marcel Davis off the mark on that one. Seattle comes away with that turnover. Seattle saved the air ball from going out of bounds. Coe, blocking foul inside. Boston Gubler. Seattle looks like they're attacking differently here in the second half.
They are. I think they're being a little bit more aggressive. We saw in the first half they did a lot of coming off of screens. It looks like to start in just the first few minutes here, they're trying to go more towards the basket. Previously they were coming off of those screens trying to space the floor. I think their mindset is, look, we're going to get back in this game by getting some easy baskets. And you get an over the back foul here on
Crook.
On Jack Crook. Nice job of boxing out from Chad Ross there, but I think that's going to be their mindset, is looking at it and saying, hey, we've got to be aggressive. We've got to get more easy baskets. We're not getting anything on our screen game or on our perimeter-oriented offense.
Second foul on Crook. First of this half. Crook, Flora, and Umapig and Turner all with 2 each. Brendan Evans kissed it off the glass. We'll see if they'll count it. I think they will, but I'll wait for the official. Yeah, it will, and Powell with the foul.
Yeah, this was a really nice job of a dump-off pass there from Marcel. I think the interior passing from UVU has been really good tonight, whether it's been from a big to another big or a guard to a big. I think they've done a really nice job of being unselfish in the paint, and a good job of Brendan reading the defense and using his speed and quickness inside to his advantage.
Charge this time against Seattle. Saying Umapig just ran into Mitch Brunel.
Yeah, and see, there we go. There's aggressiveness, right? They're trying to be more aggressive, but that was great awareness from Mitch coming over and helping and taking the charge.
Umapig with a 3rd personal foul. He's the first player for either team with 3. Wolverines across midcourt finally. Utah Valley has doubled up Seattle. 17.5 to play.
Looks like the UVU attack offense is just about the same. Against that zone, there's space in the middle. Get it into your big and let them create.
Coe for 3.
Now that's the one.
That's their first 3 of the game.
Yeah, and that's the one danger when you have games like this, when you've held a team to such a low percentage, is the Seattle comes up with a turnover.
Umapig picked the pocket. Marcel Davis. And a frustration foul coming back the other way on Brendan Evans of Utah Valley.
And what I was saying was the danger is, if a team can get one to go down, they're a 40%. We said they're a 40% three-point shooting team. So for them to go 0 for 8 in the first half is not usual. So the Wolverines have to keep their attention and focus, because you don't want Seattle to get just even a slight roll with getting some threes to fall.
Seattle basketball.
And, you know, I think Seattle's defense, you're going to get the official in the middle here talking to Brendan Evans and Jack Crook, trying to
calm him down a little bit.
Yeah, calm him down. Didn't see quite what happened, but I think it's pretty physical inside. We'll keep an eye on that because they're going to be very physical inside. They've both been warned. Let's see if anything comes of that.
Turnover, Seattle.
And, you know, the Wolverine offense has slowed a little bit as this pressure has come. And I think it's, you know, Coach Dollar called it. It's served the purpose that he wanted. Really slowed the Wolverines down and forced them into some turnovers on offense. Nice job of breaking it there. They've still got to stay aggressive. Can't relax here. A lot of game left.
Jaden Jackson thought about the three. Brendan Evans works inside.
Yeah, rebound.
Seattle comes away with it. It'll belong to Utah Valley when we get back from this commercial break. 15:45 left. UVU out in front, but Seattle showing signs of life here in Orem. 11 turnovers for Seattle, 7 for Utah Valley. 22 fouls have been called in this game, 13 against Seattle, 9 against Utah Valley. Mitch Brunel continues to be the story for Utah Valley. Zach Nelson, very quiet night for Zach, just 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting. Mitch Brunel, though, 22 points. Just 5 away from tying his career high.
And you mentioned 11 turnovers for Seattle. The Wolverines have really capitalized on that, you know, 14 points for themselves, but you know, they're still very aggressive on the offensive boards. The Wolverines have 16 second chance points, you know, off of 12 offensive rebounds, and you know, not letting Seattle get out in transition. No fast break points for Seattle and no bench points. So, you know,
wow.
the recipe is there, and I think the Wolverines executed or have executed their game plan so far.
And 4 of the starting 5 have scored. You even have one starter, Flora, who hasn't scored. So 5 other bench players along with Flora all scoreless for Seattle. 6 players have scored for UVU meanwhile. Zach Nelson.
Coach Dollar right here in front of us. He's calling their offense flow. He yelled at other players to go set screens. So that's what they're going to be looking to do. Get their flow of their offense moving, set a lot of screens, and see if they can get going that way.
Crook, a little wraparound pass. Very nicely done. Nice finish from Powell.
Yeah, Crook is such a big body. He sets screens at various places and points on the floor, and then he typically rolls to the basket. That time he did a nice job of passing it off, but he's a big body setting screens, and when he rolls, he's hard to cover.
11-4 start here in the second half for Seattle. Whoa. Okay, nobody's hurt. That's the good news. Brendan Evans going to be called for the foul for Utah Valley.
I don't think the officials are looking at this, but I mean, that was a physical foul, but that was a clean foul. He absolutely went for the block. I think they are going to be looking at this. They're, in my opinion, looking at it second chance or second shot there. There's nothing
flagrant
about that. He played and went for the ball. When you get 2 players going up sky high, you're going to have contact. That's going to be the result. I'd be surprised, really surprised, if they called any type of a flagrant foul here.
42-25, Utah Valley out in front. UVU, a little scoring drought of their own, 3.5 minutes. what was it, over 5 minutes that
yeah.
Seattle went in the first half without scoring?
I think it was about in the 9-minute mark to about the 2-3 minute mark,
yeah.
too. And what I was going to say, or what I meant to say a little bit earlier, didn't quite make my point, was when you have a team that shoots 40% from three, you can hold them down, but you know, the numbers will likely bear themselves out. And it's such a danger when you can have teams that will have potential from three, because there's no faster way to get back into a ball game than going on a run of making threes and getting your main scores going. So there's a necessity for UVU to continue their defense that they did in the first half, but they've still got to score some points. They can't just rely on their defense, and that's what Seattle's going to try and do is get open threes and try and spring and get their run going with that part of their game.
Seattle 0 for 9 from three-point land. I swear they made one earlier.
Yeah.
We said it was their first one.
Did they rule that a 2?
Evidently, they took it back because, all right, the scoreboard in front of us is showing 0 for 9, but the official stats are 1 for 10. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Jaden Cohey did hit that 3, and I don't think we're having, after the officials reviewed that last play.
Flagrant 1.
I am so surprised at that.
Flagrant 2 would have been Brendan Evans out of the game. Brendan Evans is a tough, hard-nosed player. Senior from Sonora, California. His dad played basketball at Washington State. Brendan called for the flagrant 1 on that one, and Flora makes him pay.
Yeah, I mean, consider me surprised, because wow, I did not think that was a flagrant foul. Did you think that was a flagrant foul?
The official said it was, man. Of course I would agree with them. Have I ever disagreed with an official in my life?
I couldn't disagree more there. I mean, it was, he challenged, he went for the ball, but they called it.
And then Flora hits the jumper from outside. All of a sudden, 8 straight points for Seattle. In fact, it's a 12-2 run for the Redhawks right now, and it's awfully quiet in the UCCU Center. UVU led at halftime, 38-14. Wolverines, you just feel like they're playing to hold on right now. Oh my word, NBA 3. Mitch Brunel misses. Zach Nelson went for it. Seattle tried to save it from going out of bounds, could not. Wolverine basketball.
Yeah, and the momentum has definitely turned. Again, Coach Dollar calls that full court, almost the 1-2-2 pressure, trying to slow down UVU, and you said it, they're trying to hang on, and that's what you cannot have. Cannot have the hang on mentality. You got to stay aggressive and not allow Seattle to get back in the game.
Utah Valley's only had maybe one game this season where they had a big lead, and that was against Bristol, an NAIA team in here. This is their biggest lead against a D1 team this season. Or it was their biggest lead, down to 13. Led by as many as 24 in this game. Brendan Evans dishes off Nelson, and 1. Zach Nelson finishing off that. He's got 4 points. Nice assist from Brendan. Foul against Jaden Cohey, his second.
Getting the officials conferring on something here.
Now what?
We get to see the replay here. Very nice. Again, I mentioned a little bit earlier how the passing. See, after the play, I don't know what they're looking at.
Was that a little hand to the face from Jack Crook I saw?
The interior passing before that, we'll get a little bit of a clarification on what the officials are looking at here. But watch this pass. You see Zach come down the lane line. Really nice interior pass, just a real touch pass. Zach go up. I think that's the only thing that they're going to look at is.
We'll let it roll. It's right after this, but I think Crook sort of threw up a hand in Zach Nelson's face.
He was just trying to get the ball coming out of the net.
That's nothing. Let him play.
And I hate that about what they're looking at, because you get a flagrant foul called and the referees start to think, okay, we've got to we've got to look at everything.
Yeah.
And that was nothing there. No need for that. It just destroys the rhythm of the game.
Right. That was UVU's first basket out of their last 7 shots.
And that play was so indicative of how the game has gone so far for UVU. You get a 3, missed, a long rebound, and the Wolverines once again converted into points. Look at all these handoffs. You get the long 3 from UVU.
Tied up on the rebound, Crook. And Alex Carr, they'll say Carr stepped on the baseline with the ball and they'll give it to Seattle.
Yeah, really good job, Alex, battling inside. But Crook, his big body, this is what we're going to see. Him getting the ball at various points, handoffs, players coming off of him. He's a big body and sets a screen. And if it's a jump ball, which I think is what they called. Oh, okay. So they'd initially called a jump ball, but then they said he stepped out of bounds, so no jump ball. That's why Seattle has it.
With a fresh 35-second shot clock.
Nice switch out there from Zach. He saw Flora coming off with a lot of space. Good job of helping.
They called travel?
I think they called an offensive foul on Jack Crook. Yeah, absolutely.
Good heavens. I saw one official, and it sure looked like he was about to call travel. That is Jack Crook's 3rd personal foul.
Yuma Pig with a drive and a dish off, and you see the rotation there. Really good job, Brendan, being aware, rotating over, taking the charge right on the chin.
UVU nursing a 16-point lead. 12.5 minutes left. Mitch Brunel. Well, he had 20 in the first half. Only 2 points so far here in the second half. Yuma Pig. Somebody got him on the way.
I think they're going to call Alex Carr for that.
These two teams don't seem to like each other too much tonight.
No, again, it's getting chippy out there. You have Seattle being a lot more aggressive. Yuma Pigs being a lot more aggressive, and the Wolverines aren't backing down. They're matching the force that Seattle has. You'll get a timeout here from Seattle, but Wolverines have done a nice job not backing down and matching the physicality that Seattle's trying to bring here in the second half.
And I think this is a good timeout for Cameron Dollar, because Yuma Pig is out there with 3 personal fouls, and the last thing you want to do is see your star player getting a little too physical with an Alex Carr, who the Wolverines are not dependent as much upon as Seattle is upon Yuma Pig.
Yeah, good timeout. You want to calm down your team, and Coach Dollar's been yelling at the officials all night. I think he obviously thinks there's fouls that aren't being called out there, as you see him discussing right now with the referee. But the last 12 minutes, Jim, we're going to see physicality, and we're going to, you got to play smart here. You cannot do something to harm your team as far as getting an unnecessary flagrant, an unnecessary technical, because the officials are watching for that. You've got to be aware that they're going to call it tight the rest of the game.
45-29. Winner of this will be in a 4-way tie for first place in the WAC, as all 8 teams are in action. Obviously, we'll have 4 winners and 4 losers. So WAC standings, 4 teams will be 1-0, 4 teams will be 0-1. But it's crucial, especially if you're playing at home, to win a game like this. Set the tone.
Absolutely. And I've been really impressed with, I don't know what to attribute it to, but I've been really impressed with the level of play that UVU has. I thought it's been different, and I thought it's been a lot more focused this game than some of the previous games we've seen.
Wow.
Yeah,
Brendan Evans foul again for Utah Valley.
See, again, I mean, they're battling inside. That was a foul on Brendan. And this is the danger, Jim, because you've got 12 minutes left in the game. Every foul that the Wolverines now commit, Seattle's going to the line for a 1-and-1. And then eventually 2 shots.
7th team foul, as you mentioned. 3rd personal against Brendan Evans. First Wolverine with 3. Crook and Umapig both have 3 each. What was that?
That was an air ball.
Wow. Bless his heart. You like to see the thing at least hit the bottom of the net on its way out of bounds.
66% on the year normally there for William Powell, but he just came up completely short.
Of the 33%, that might have been one of the worst ones. Utah Valley. Brendan Evans kicks it out to Jaden Jackson. Bottom.
Yeah, see, that is great. Coach Unsaker throwing both arms up in the air, because you notice what they did there. They were much more aggressive in attacking off of the press than what they normally have been.
Umapig tried to feed it inside. Ball slapped out of bounds by Brendan Evans of Utah Valley. Brings us to immediate timeout. Wow, this one's heating up, isn't it? 11:41 left. Utah Valley out in front, but don't go away. Saturday night, Norham, Utah. Utah Valley has not trailed in this game. Currently, they lead Seattle 48-29. UVU only 1 game next week, as they will be at home again hosting Grand Canyon on Thursday night. That game also being broadcast here on UVU TV, 7 o'clock tip. Then they'll have Saturday off before hitting the road the following week. Meanwhile, Seattle, 2 games next week, Thursday and Saturday. Thursday at home, hosting Texas Pan American, and then a week from today, also at Key Arena in Seattle, hosting New Mexico State. And I'm telling you, if New Mexico State gets players healthy, look out, because those guys are going to be real fresh. WAC teams need to take advantage of New Mexico State's injury situation here in the first few games of conference play, if, quite frankly, if anybody's going to stop that juggernaut. But right now, UVU's looking pretty darn good at home, leading by 19, although Seattle playing much better here in the second half than they did in that first half. Jaden Jackson with the rebound.
You know, and those are the types of shots that you love to see if you're putting together a plan for defense, because you stop the original action and you force them into a long three-pointer that was not in the flow of the game.
Flora is all over Mitch Brunel. 12-second shot clock. Zach Nelson got it to go, but offensive foul. Zach Nelson.
Wow.
His second personal. Team's 8th of this half.
Now, I like the look. Zach didn't. Well, we had a pretty good look at it. I thought it was more of a flop than anything, but nice job, Zach, driving, flashing to the middle.
And you are not biased at all, my friend.
Not at all. Every call I seem to think should be one way, it goes the other way. So
driving inside, Flora scoring. They will count this one. This foul's going to go against Jaden Jackson. Jaden's first, team's 9th. UVU whistled for 9 fouls in this half, 5 in the first half. Meanwhile, Seattle whistled for 5 this half, 10 in the first half. 48-32, and a quick timeout taken by Cameron Dollar.
Interesting timeout here. Seattle has 3 timeouts left. I would not be surprised here if Coach Dollar, with 10, almost 11 minutes left here, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to do or be a lot more aggressive on his press or his pressure. I wouldn't be surprised to see them out of this timeout try and do some type of trapping, or maybe calling a timeout here to set something up where they can try and get a turnover off of their full court press that likely they'll use.
Just under 11 minutes to play. The closest this game was in the first half was about the 9-minute mark, when Seattle had gone on a 7-0 run to cut it to 13-12. Then it was 16 straight points by the Wolverines. And actually the Wolverines went on a 25-2 run to close out the first half. Good gravy. And they led at halftime 38-14. Second half, pretty much all Seattle, to be honest with you.
Yeah. The Wolverines built that lead, and they've been able to rely on that, but Seattle has played with a lot more intensity.
18-10, the Wolverines of Utah Valley have been outscored here in the second half.
And here comes that expected pressure. Let's see what they do. It doesn't necessarily look like they're normal, because you have Umapig fronting Brendan Evans. So you see the 2 Seattle players fronting, looking to put a lot more pressure on.
Zach Nelson, despite the fact, pretty tall fella, excellent ball handler. Alex Carr runs into a Seattle player. And that's a Umapig, and that was not smart, because that's number 4 on Isaiah Umapig.
And I listened to Coach Dollar right here in front of us, and he was yelling, "Go get him! Go get him!"
Really?
So they're trying to. They're not trying to foul, but on that possession they were trying to trap. But as you said, foul was called, and not a good foul.
Umapig stays out there. He's only got 2 points on 1 of 8 shooting. Missed all 4 3-point attempts. Dante Williams misses the 3. Ball goes up over the backboard. Pinballs around. Seattle basketball.
And watch this possession from Seattle, because they've got to start up their energy and start up their intensity. Here comes a handoff. Oh, same play from Crook.
Charge on Crook. I don't know how much he weighs. We talked about in the first half. He's 6'11". I'll give him about, what, 260?
Yeah.
Brendan Evans, I don't know how much Brendan weighs. He's 6'5". I'll give him about 210.
It's pretty courageous what we just saw there, because Crook has done and run that play a couple of times tonight. I don't know if we've necessarily seen him with the ball dribbling to the basket, but he lost control. But Brendan Evans, again, aware, help defense. If you can see a big man driving the ball, that is a charge waiting to be happen, and Brendan made it happen.
4th foul on Jack Crook. He takes a seat. Umapig is out there with his 4 fouls. Crook's on the bench with his 4. Ten-second shot clock. Dante Williams for 3. Wolverines ice cold here in the second half from 3-point land, just 1 of 6.
Look at these 2 screens up top for Umapig. Zach coming out, switching off of it.
Nice dish for the trailing William Powell, and wow, not much of a foul. Basket will count. Brendan Evans picks up the foul. Brendan Evans picks up foul number 4.
Chad Ross going to be subbing in here, but you see Umapig coming off of 2 screens, and you see Zach not normally guarding him, but you got so much attention. Look, you got Zach and Marcel chasing Umapig. That means there's a free offensive player. And
oh my goodness, where was the foul?
Down the lane came William Powell.
Brendan Evans, wow,
slapped on the arm there. Somewhere they called that.
All right, they don't get them all right. Six straight points for Seattle.
Back to a 13-point game here. And again, you cannot just relax. Wolverines got to maintain their aggressiveness.
Well, you saw the subs come in. Mitch Brunel, Boston Gubler, Chad Ross, Dante Williams, and Marcel Davis on the floor right now for Utah Valley. Brunel only 2 points here in the second half after 20 in the first half. 5-second shot clock. Ball slapped away from Chad Ross. Foul against Seattle. Now they're just calling on every possession, it seems like, and that's not fair to either team. Powell, foul. His third.
And that turns the mentality, I think, into being a driver, being aggressive as Chad knocks down the first free throw, and that's what Chad did there. If you know that the officials are calling it, you try and create the contact, you try and get yourself to the line, and Chad did a good job of executing it there.
Got 1 of 2 to go down. UVU 8 of 11 from the stripe. Seattle 7 of 10.
This is a defense, Jim, a triangle and 2 it looks like for the Wolverines.
Umapig, very acrobatic move to even get that shot off. Wolverines pushing it up. Now they'll slow it down.
Yeah, the Wolverines are going to use clock here. This is what they like to do. I know from experience here, you have this lead, your defense is doing its job. The clock is your friend, you use it.
Marcel Davis. Seattle basketball. Davis just 1 of 4 tonight. Off the glass. Good. It will count. Chad Ross with the foul. His second.
These and ones have really hurt the Wolverines, and I think what has also hurt is when Seattle drives, it's usually their guards, and so there's a lot of attention and help that comes, and Seattle's dishing the ball off to their bigs in the paint, in the lane. The last couple of attempts and baskets have come as a result of those plays. The last 2 and ones have come because of that.
Seattle continues to chip away at the Wolverines' once 24-point lead.
Yeah, and here comes a man full court pressure, trapping where appropriate.
Mitch Brunel. Slam that one down and 1. Why would you try to stop that? Foul against William Powell, his 4th.
Yeah, this is, if you're going to trap and if you're going to press, you make them pay. Mitch, terrific job of keeping himself low along the baseline, elevating up above the defender. That is textbook how to break the trap and how to finish it.
Mitch Brunel, 25 points. Just 2 shy of tying his career high.
And that's big too, Jim, because when you need a basket, you've got to go to your experienced players. And Mitch has answered the bell at nearly every opportunity tonight. When the Wolverines have needed something, he's been there.
Crook back into the game with 4 fouls. Umapig's been out there for a while with 4 for Seattle. Cameron Dollar basically saying, look, we got 7 and change left, so got to do something here. Jumper outside, no. Mitch Brunel with the rebound.
I think that was, again, triangle and 2 defense where you have Marcel Davis on Isaiah Umapig and Dante Williams with the responsibility of chasing Jarrell Flora. It's working. Nice job there from Marcel, breaking down the defense, and Mitch making himself available. Good pass off there from Marcel.
54-38. UVU still out in front. And another and 1. Emerson Murray.
Mitch Brunel has tied his career high with 27 points. He had 20 of them in the first half. Seattle's been called for 19 fouls, and I'm sure people in Seattle are saying, holy cow, that's a lot of fouls, but Utah Valley's been called for 17 themselves. Wolverines lead by 14 points. .42% shooting on the game for Seattle, 38 for Utah Valley, but it's that three-point shooting for Seattle. They're now saying Seattle's three-point attempt, or the one that was the three, was only a 2.
Yeah.
So officially they are 0 for 12 from three-point range. Folks, this is one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. They're number 1 in the WAC. Isaiah Umapig, number 3 in the nation in three-point shooting.
And a little perspective, you and I were talking about it. When Seattle came in here last year, Isaiah Umapig had 32 points.
Yeah. Seattle won their game here last year.
Yeah, the
big time.
The story for me, you know, when we've got 6.5 minutes left, so we won't end it yet, but that's been the story for me, is how they've defended him and the team, Seattle as a team, from 3.
Dante Williams open for 3. Brunel kept it alive.
Yeah, again, long threes, long rebounds. Can't say enough about the effort that has been there for UVU on the offensive board. That's their 15th offensive rebound, and you know they have 19 points, second chance at this point. So they're just draining Seattle, forcing them to defend multiple possessions.
10-second shot clock. Gubler feeds over to Dante Williams. Marcel, hanging jumper. Brunel again kicks it outside and saves it.
Again, you can't say enough, Jim, about the effort. The last 2 possessions, just tapping it out again. You know, forcing them to defend for a minute and a half here. If the Wolverines drain it all the way down, you know, more than that, it's been fantastic.
Still got 5.5 to play, but I'm telling you, this is probably one of the best individual performances I've seen from a Wolverine in the 6 years that I've been, or the 5 years that I've been calling games for these guys. 6-second shot clock. Brunel to the hole. Shot blocked that time. Didican got it.
Wolverine basketball.
And a Wolverine basketball.
Yeah, 3 seconds on the shot clock. See the replay here. Mitch Brunel pushing the action here. Nice recovery and block there from Shoria Denican.
See what they can do with 3 seconds. Brunel from NBA range. Oh my goodness, just missed that one.
And here's where you really have to be aware of the shock 3, meaning the 3 coming from anywhere, because that's really the only shot that Seattle has here if they can get those 3-point attempts.
Inside, blocking foul against Mitch Brunel. It'll be an and 1 for Emmanuel Chabagu.
Or 3 points the old-fashioned way, as they say, because that's what you want. Get a basket, go to the line.
3rd foul against Mitch Brunel.
I think the Wolverines get lost on defense here because you see nobody is there guarding Chabagu, and late rotation. Mitch tried to come over and take the charge, but he had too many Wolverine players going to Seattle, left him wide open.
Seattle's made 5 of the last 7 shots. They're only down by 11.
Yeah, and this is where you give Seattle, off that type of chance, you get them the opportunity to set their defense, and here comes trapping.
Wolverines break that one nicely. Can the Wolverines hang on? Again, if you joined us late, they led at halftime 38-14. Complete different second half for Seattle. Williams, bottom, his first points of the second half.
Just when you think Seattle's making a run, UVU is almost another near turnover here, but just as Seattle makes a run, the Wolverines have been very timely in some of their baskets to end potential runs from Seattle. That time Dante with a clutch 3. Jumper
up top, Chabagu. Missed that one. Crook easily could have got called on that one for his 5th foul, that little reach in. But
yeah, Coach Hunsaker was lobbying for that one pretty hard.
I'm glad they're letting him play. .340 left. Brunel tries to feed over to Brendan Evans, who was hammered from behind by Flora. Flora gets up limping a little bit. We'll check him out when we get back from this break. Media timeout. 3:33 left to play. Utah Valley leading by 14 points here on UVU TV. Utah Valley defending Western Athletic Conference regular season champs at home, playing like it tonight.
Yeah, they have. I think they realize what's at stake, and they realize what they still have to play for. Not that they ever lost it, but you know, frustrating in their non-conference schedule when it was difficult with so many road games. They didn't get a lot of chances here to play at home to develop a rhythm, but you know, if they can play their games in conference like this one, they're going to be in terrific shape, because I've been really impressed with what I've seen tonight. By far the best basketball game that I've seen this team play this year.
Brendan Evans gets them both. 59-43. Zach Nelson with a steal, and Crook is gone. Jack Crook, 6'11" junior from Manchester, England. Fouls out for the 4th time this year. Finishes with 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
Nice job of Zach there, falling off of, you know, perfect timing, falling off of his defender and reading where that ball was going. An easy steal.
That was the 11th foul called against Seattle in this half. UVU's been whistled for 13. It just seems like Seattle's been whistled for a lot more than UVU, but not so, especially here in the second half. Overall, just a difference of 3 in favor of Seattle.
And I think, what was it, 12 minutes left or so? I think it was in this half, when every chance that Seattle, or every foul that UVU committed, Seattle was going to the line. I think the Wolverines have done a pretty good job of keeping them off the line, although they have had several and ones where they've got some chances.
Yuma Pig for 3. Now they finally hit their first 3-pointer with just over 3 minutes left in the game. They're 1 of 13 are the Redhawks of Seattle University. Yuma Pig's got 5 points tonight.
Yeah, and here's where Seattle's going to be ultra aggressive in trapping. Wolverines just need to get catches, because they're going to come out and trap and try and get in the passing lanes, and Wolverines can't be careless. Almost a turnover there.
10-second shot clock. Dante Williams, floater off the glass. Nope, he charged. Dante Williams, 2nd personal foul. 14th this half.
Yeah, tough spot for Dante to be in. The shot clock was running down. We'll get a good angle of it here, good replay. 10 seconds left, but look at that space in that lane. Yeah, pretty good call there, I would say.
Back to live action. Wolverines come up with another Seattle turnover. 15 turnovers for Seattle, just 9 for UVU here in this game. They were attempting to foul Brendan Evans. Coach Cameron Dollar jumped up there and said, take one to Chabagu.
Thought there should have been one. The guy who had his arm wrapped around the waist of Brendan.
No, they call him when you don't touch him, and they don't call him when you got him wrapped up. It's
funny how often that is.
A little inconsistent. Clock stop, 2:11 left. Marcel Davis misses the front end. UVU 12 of 17 from the stripe. Seattle, conversely, 9 of 13. second one is good for Marcel. 61-46. 2 minutes left. Feeds inside Umapig. Nice pass.
Yeah, good backdoor cut there from Umapig. He read that the defense was assuming he was going to the perimeter.
Brendan Evans to the hole, fouled. Well, he didn't score, but that's because Emerson Murray made sure he let Brendan Evans have everything he had. First foul against Murray. 13th team foul against Seattle. So they're almost dead even here in the second half. Brendan Evans at the free throw line. He's 2 of 3 tonight.
You know, I think also one of the things that I've really liked to see from the Wolverines is how they've handled the press and the pressure, because they've done a nice job of feeling it out, seeing that, you know, when the opportunity is there to attack. When it's not, pull it out and run some clock. Perfect opportunity there. 2-on-1, wide open path to lane attack. Going to get a moving screen here on Umapig.
If so, that's foul number 5 on Isaiah.
Going to get a technical foul on Cameron Dollar for sure. Yeah, I don't think they've called one yet, but
Isaiah Umapig is just fouled out of this game. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 of 11 shooting, just 1 of 5 from 3-point range. And Coach Cameron Dollar is pretty hot about it.
Surprised, you know, I've been wrong every time I've predicted what was going to happen from the officials tonight. Pretty good restraint there from the officials. I think Cameron Dollar's frustrated, obviously, with his team's performance. Good restraint there, not calling the technical.
So Umapig and Crook have both fouled out. Still a minute 45 left, and UVU, who has not trailed in this game, leading 63-48. Looks like Seattle's trying desperately to foul to stop the clock, and they finally do with a minute 40 left. Murray picks up that one, his second.
And these are all things that are good for the Wolverines as far as, you know, preparing them for situations that they may see later on in the year. And they've got the lead, still some time left. You still have to handle the pressure, and you still got to go to the free throw line and knock down the free throws.
Marcel Davis just 1 of 3 from the stripe. Wolverines overall 15 of 21.
Marcel Davis connects on the back end. 64-48. Inside quickly for Seattle. Coe couldn't get it down. And what else? Another foul inside with a minute 33 left.
I know I've said this before in other broadcasts, Jim, this type of a game. I used to hate playing in these types of scenarios and situations as a defender, because usually the offense is not running any sets, what you're used to or what you're prepared for. It's, you know, get the ball somewhere, and you know, the offensive player has the ultimate freedom, and I think that's what some of the Wolverines are facing here, because it's, you know, it's just a free-for-all. Essentially, they get the ball in certain positions, and you know, you've got to be ready for just about everything. So pretty tough situation, I think, for how some of the Wolverine defenders and what they're handling right now.
Seattle fouls again to stop the clock with a minute 24. They're down by 14. Coach Cameron Dollar still thinks that maybe Wolverines can miss some free throws.
Yeah, good ball handling skill there from Dante. Handled that the entire possession, bringing it up. Nice job of shielding off the defender.
Dante's 4 of 5 from the stripe. Got 11 points tonight. He's only player in double figures besides Mitch Brunel's 27. 12 points for Dante. He had 14 last Saturday against Arkansas. So it'll be a couple of nice Saturdays for Dante Williams. Now with 13 points. And a 16-point lead. Pushing it hard. Coe to the hole.
Yeah, that's almost a design play. They did that just the previous possession where they try and get Coe the ball at half court and give him the whole right side of the court to deal with.
They're still fouling with 1:07 to play, down by 14 points.
No, it's a good opportunity, Jim, because you can't replicate these things in practice. I know you wish that, and I wish, and everybody wishes that they would just not put him at the line. But these are situations you can't get in practice, and so take it for what it is. And the Wolverines have handled it well.
Marcel Davis, 64% free throw shooter on the season, gets them both.
Here's the same play. They get the ball to Cooey.
Jumper for three. It's Williams with the rebound and an immediate foul from Seattle. 1 minute to play.
Yeah, I think now no longer Coach Dollar made the signal to his team, no more fouls, so I don't think we're going to see any more fouling.
28 fouls have been called on Seattle in this game, 20 against UVU. 48 fouls in this game. That's a lot more than I would like to see.
Well, and it really turned, if I'm remembering correctly, at halftime, I don't believe that, in the first half, I mean, Seattle only had 1 free throw attempt.
Right.
The Wolverines had 7, so I really think that it turned when they called the foul, the intentional foul or flagrant foul it was on Brendan Evans. I thought that was something that sparked, I think, a little bit closer attention from the Wolverines, because only eight free throw attempts in the first half for both teams, a lot more in the second.
Looks like the Wolverines are going to get out of here with a W tonight. Start the WAC defense of their regular season title with a victory. Still physical inside Wolverine basketball with 37 seconds on the game clock, 35 on the shot clock, so they'll have to put it up with a couple of seconds left. Seattle's called off the press, so this one's in the books. Mitch Brunel ties a career high with 27. Dante Williams just one off a career high 15 points tonight. Brendan Evans 8, Zach Nelson 6. We'll talk more about it as the final 18 seconds roll out of here. Very impressive win, wire to wire for Utah Valley. They never trailed in this one. Closest Seattle got was 1 point when it was 13-12 with 9:07 to play in the first half. UVU improves to 6-9 overall, 4-2 at home, and the most important stat of all, 1-0 in the Western Athletic Conference. Meanwhile, Seattle 7-8 and just 2-4 on the road and 0-1 in the WAC. All right, so Wolverines, as we mentioned, only one game next week. That'll be Thursday night here at the UCCU Center against Grand Canyon. Tip-off time 7 o'clock. Hey, our thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight. This telecast produced by students from the UVU Digital Media Department. It's been a copyrighted production of Utah Valley University and the Wolverine Sports Network. For Matt Peterson, I'm Jim McCullough, saying so long from Orem, Utah.